Thank you so much for tuning into Culture Fix. I am joined by Italian singer-songwriter Alessandro Capozzi, who is celebrating the release of his latest song, Spark. The song is your sixth overall, Alessandro, and it is your biggest streaming hit so far with over 100,000 streams on Spotify alone. So it's going places, which is great. You are also
Yes.
currently one of the world's biggest tattoo artists as well. So you've got lots of exciting things going on just now.
Yes, a lot on my plate actually.
Good, good. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Really excited to talk about the music and the new single. So yeah, let's get
Thank
started.
you for having me.
Amazing. Well, let's start with Spark. So what is the song about in your own words? What's the message there for you?
So I wrote this song when I was like in Los Angeles trying to work between tattoos and music, and I actually went to LA to record some music. And then like when you're in a new country, in a city that you don't really know, you feel sometimes like you're disconnected from things. And I just started playing with my guitar and just, as I always do, just play around with the chords and trying to figure out like what would sound nice to me, even just to me and for me in that moment. And I remember how this melody came out very natural to me. And I thought about it in a way, let's say that I wrote it for myself in that moment. Like I felt a little lonely in that specific moment. Like I wasn't really fully understood, but I knew that it was part of the process. So I was like, what would me like to hear if I was like alone in my room and I need a little bit of reassurance that things are going the way they're meant to?
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's just how it came out, like just naturally. It's only a reminder to for everybody to know that even if things seems to not going the right way, they're actually going the right way, and you just need to believe in the fact that we're on the right track. As long as you're following your passion, your dreams, it's gonna be hard at times. It's gonna be like a struggle, but just try to get better every day. And that's what the song is about. It's just like hoping in this spark that will light up the dark. You just need a little bit of a win sometimes to just understand that that's all you needed, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a hopeful song. I think there's definitely that message of hope that kind of comes through, where actually it's interesting that you mentioned it was a place of kind of isolation that came from, and what would you like to hear? Um,
Yeah.
when you then stepped into the studio to record the track, did it come quite naturally and quite easy, or was that quite a long process?
It was actually a long process because when you're at the start of doing music, at the end of the day, I started doing music, not doing music, but I started recording and taking it seriously and being like, approaching it like a professional opportunity. I was like, I found it really hard to actually have a vision and translate it into something physical. You know how a song should sound like, you know what a good song sound like,
Yeah.
but to transfer it from your brain to the actual like file MP3,
Yeah.
it's extremely complicated. So in the first songs, I always felt like I was like, yeah, this is good, but if I hear it, if it comes out naturally to my in my studio, I'd be like, I don't like it. It should be
Yeah.
better. And so with this song, I did something different that I literally just went back and forth with different versions. And I went to the studio multiple times because I was like, this is good, but it's not exactly what I want it to be. And I remember, it's so funny, I remember recording just voice and guitar the first day in the studio. And I wasn't even sure if the song was worth like pursuing. And it's so it felt so powerful to me that I literally just met this producer. It was the first time I met this producer. We went to the studio and we were like, let's just try it out and see if we have a vibe. I went to the studio, I recorded for like an hour the song, just guitar and voice, like together at the same time. I just played guitar and the voice, just one take. And then we just say bye. We're like, okay, let's see if this can work out. Like it was just a brief meeting. And I remember going home, and when I went around like the next days, I would find myself listening to the track to understand it. And at one point, even just guitar and voice felt like it was like helping me somehow. I don't know how to explain it. I listened to that demo like so many times, because even while I was walking to grocery stores in LA and I felt like a little lonely, that kind of made me feel hopeful. And I was like, wait, this feeling is something that I really want to capture. And the more I worked on it, the more I kind of like got farther from it at the start, and then I had to like redirect the energy, change some things to find it back to that first deep demo, but just for it to sound complete. So it was a whole process actually.
And I'm getting the sense that you are a perfectionist when it comes to music. Would that be correct?
Yeah, like with music, tattoos is like I am, which is like it's a double-edged sword because like art can never be perfect, you know, but so when you try to approach it with a perfectionist mindset, there's a lot of like harsh truth that you gotta face, you know? Like Michelangelo, I love this quote by Michelangelo. He used to say that every artwork, it's never finished, it's only abandoned, which, oh my God, it's so true, that hits so hard. You know, like the same with music, I think. Like you can always do better, you just need to know when it's enough.
And it's funny because I think as the creator, you will look at it from a much more strict lens than people listening because they will enjoy it and they will appreciate what's there. But I think as a creator, there is always a sense of, I could have done that, or I could have changed this, or there's so many options always going through your head.
Yes, it's crazy. I think so. And I do think that a lot of people say like, don't overthink it. Like it's gonna be like you're literally being too much of a perfectionist. But the truth is that people are really intelligent. And I do believe that some people say that like the public doesn't understand, but everybody has like 10,000 hours of listening to music. So people, even if they don't know what they're listening to exactly, like the specific instrument or the editing, the mixing, when you put a lot of work and passion and when you work on the details of a single piece, people will know, they will see it. So it's, you shouldn't be a perfectionist, but you shouldn't just like write it, record it, whatever, out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've obviously mentioned that the producer you worked with, this was the first song that you worked on together. Is there plans to potentially go back and do some more together?
Yes, we already have something we're working on, which is going to be a new track. Then it's probably going to come out in the next month or two. Then we already worked on it, but I again, like it's so funny. Again, I looked at it, I'm like, it's good. Like that's a good first direction, but it's not quite there emotionally. So I'm working on it right now. I'm very excited about this new track. We'll see.
Well, we mentioned that Spark was your sixth song overall.
Yes.
How does it differ to your previous releases?
I think it's very different to the extent that first of all, I worked on it for longer, for sure. I worked on it for longer. It came out very fast and very natural when I wrote it. So I think it really felt meant to be for some reason. Some songs sometimes they feel like they're just meant to be out in the world. So there was that feeling that was different. I had a lot of like little signs, I would say, while I was in LA, which are ridiculous. Like, I mean, I'm not like gigantic into signs, but when something keeps happening, I'm like, okay, maybe there's something. So something was different emotionally about the song. And then I remember like thinking of how to make it really, really like, even just like dynamically, say the things that I was going to say. Like I want somebody to like not even listen to the words and to still feel that kind of like swinging of the song, like kind of like holding you around, and it's just like the in the bridge it kind of like brings you up with you. So I want people to feel it. I wanted people to feel it even in the sound of it. So I literally worked a lot longer on it compared to the other songs. That's another big difference, I think.
I think when you compare it to Make Things Right, your song before Spark, that was very kind of rock influenced. It had that kind of like early noughties kind of rock vibe. Um, what kind of prompted the change up? Was there ever the desire to think, okay, I'm going to pursue the more rock flavored music for a wee bit longer?
I was like, I honestly, I'm very open to like try out, and I feel like the good thing of being at the start is that you can literally try so many things and nobody's gonna be like, oh damn, you did it badly. So I've always had like this emo soul in me a little bit, and I used to have a band, like a Green Day band, when I was like 14, like a cover band. And so I was like, I'm really good at like rhythmic, like punk rock. I think I'm really good. I'm like not fantastic, I guess, but yeah. So I was just like, I just want to try it. I just want to like put it out there, and it was such a light-hearted song that I'm sure I'm gonna still like do stuff like that in the future. I feel like it didn't hit as hard as like Spark, but it was like a lot more careless, even in the way in which it was done. Like it's just like very simplistic, just one voice and a lead guitar, you know. And yeah, I really love it. In fact, like in Spark, in the bridge, there's some electric guitar that at the start I was like, this doesn't really fit the calm vibe, like Lewis Capaldi. I don't know, like it doesn't fit the vibe. But I was like, you know what? I do have that little bit of soul that I'm gonna try to put in it, and it works really well. So I think rather than be punk rock, I need to use all the little influences that I've grown with.
Yeah, I kind of build a kind of a vibe that is you, and it might be a little bit of emotion, it might be a little bit of rock, it might be more soul. It's an interesting
Yeah,
thing that you, as you mentioned, it's early in the start of your career, and you've got all this time to explore so many different options. So
exactly.
yeah, very exciting.
Yeah. And I just think that, I mean, it's so funny because a part of me feels like I really want to like nail it down and understand like what really works for me, even like emotionally, or even what feels right to me. And but I definitely want to be able to connect with people. So for people to, for example, we Spark, a lot of people connected to it, and I think art, it is meant to be shared. So I really love to do stuff that I like, and then to see what really resonate with people. Because at the end of the day, it's not a solo experience, the writing and doing music. It's a group experience, right? Like you do it to talk to others, to help others, to connect with people. So I just, yeah, I'm happy to try things out, but I'm very, I think like even like the people that follows me are very interested in them, and the fact that they connect to Spark just makes me understand that I need to be more in that kind of genre, you know?
I know, and that's
Makes
been really
sense.
nice about your social media because you've shared some of the messages that you've received about the song. And
Yeah.
obviously, this is translated into the streaming numbers. And I know, we don't want to get caught up in this one had X amount of numbers, this one had this many, but it must be quite interesting to see songs that do kind of catch people's attention slightly more than others.
Yeah, it's very interesting to like see which one connects with the people the most. And it's very unpredictable, I think, as well, which I still find nowadays like very hard to like I mean nowadays like I did 6 songs, but like it's very hard to predict. Yeah, I'm like whatever. It's just very hard to predict what people will like, because I remember for example, another song that I really loved, it's called A Little Broken, which it's so interesting because the fact that people are like loving Spark, which is clearly like the main one right now, it's making them find A Little Broken, which I literally, that one is crazy. That one I literally just wrote everything, and I called a few like session musicians to like do the parts, and then I put it together. I got a mixer, and there was no producer in that song, and I did my voice in my little room,
Oh, wow.
which pisses me off honestly, because like I can hear when there's mistakes now,
Yeah.
but people are connected to it. So like people like found it and they're like, oh, this is really good, like that's one of my favorites, even the people that listen to Spark. So it's just really unpredictable, but it's crazy to see how the love that you put in the song, so how much you worked on it, how much you really believe in it, truly translates in actual numbers. You know, it's not as random as people think. It is random in a way, but it's definitely not like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna like put like 10 songs and one of them maybe is gonna explode. I don't know why. Yeah, I think people like I told you, like people are like really smart and they're experts in listening to music. And I think you can catch when something is made with passion and with belief,
Yeah.
or when it's just made to be made, you know?
Absolutely. And it's a shame because so much of the music that is promoted and is kind of force fed to us, you can tell it's from the latter and it's not maybe from that kind of authentic place.
Yeah.
But I'd love to kind of go back to the very start of your journey into the music world because you mentioned the kind of punk rock, emo rock kind of cover band. When did
Yeah.
you kind of fall in love with music? Do you have a distinct memory of that moment where you thought, like, I love this. This is what I want my life to be?
I remember like being 13 when I started like playing guitar, and like I remember the fact that I couldn't get off of that guitar when I was like such a baby. But I think I started like to have like a few friends that were interested in punk rock, and I remember vividly the first time I even started singing, which felt like even that felt like a changing moment. And I was like, I think 14. So I played guitar for like a year. I was in this like band, and another guy was a singer. And I remember this guy was like forget like the lines or something. I was like, maybe I can just like do it because I know this song. It was a Green Day song. I think it was 21 Guns by Green Day. Yes. And so I started singing that song, and people were like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty cool." I was probably sucked still, but it wasn't that bad. So I remember asking my mom, and I was like, and that was the moment in which when I had the guts to ask my mom, because I don't come from like a super rich family, but I was like, this is really important for me. And I remember like asking her in the car if I could like take some lessons for music. And honestly, it just grew on me slowly, little by little. Like it just felt really important. You know, I would do it all the time. I would go to sleep. Sometimes I would go to sleep listening to music. My brother hated me because we were in the room together, and I would always play guitar. Like it still complains to this day. Like if we go to dinner with people,
Yeah.
it still tells people that I just literally wouldn't make him sleep for like playing. And I will remember this. We had like a bunk bed. It was so funny. We had a bunk bed. I moved my bunk bed like forward so that
Yeah.
in the back close to my head, I could slide in like a little stereo, and I would put like Paramore. I still remember Paramore song, very low volume, but it was like so close to me, so that I could listen to it. It's
Your poor
crazy.
brother. What a shame.
Yeah, still complaining to this day. Sorry, Claudio. Sorry.
I'm sure he's happy for you because if it wasn't for that, who knows what would be happening.
Yeah.
Um,
I think so.
Were your family musical? Did they have a lot of because the stereotype of the Italian family is, all these Italian great performers playing in the house. Were your family like that? What were they listening to?
I mean, my parents actually were they were not super into music, but my mom actually played guitar. Like she never really played seriously, but when she was a kid, she would always play. But just for a brief moment in her like childhood, you know. And she had this like little like guitar that she played. So she kind of like transferred the passion for art to me.
Mhm.
And she's like the most artistic one in the family, but nobody's like, oh, like I play really well, I sing really well. She just really appreciate art, and so she helped me with like even painting, starting painting and music too. Like she was super happy when I started doing music. So, but my dad actually, this is actually interesting because maybe this is the moment in which I started really loving music. Like one of my first memory was when I was like really, really small, like few years old or something. And my dad, every night that I couldn't sleep, he would pick me up, bring me to the living room and play me a song by John Sebastian Bach, like a composer, like an Austrian composer. I think Austrian. Oh my God, probably saying like something wrong, but it might be
Okay.
Bach for sure.
Yeah.
And he would just like let the song go until I fell asleep again. So, and that's my first memory actually, like me listening to this like classical piano song.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the
Yeah.
first.
Absorbing all these classical melodies. Yeah, that
Yeah, that could be it, right? Like
could
they
be. It
say
could
that
be. You might
like.
be onto something.
Yeah, right? Like, how they say that, like, if you make, I think there was a study that animals listening to like classical music, they produce more or
Yeah.
something.
relaxes them, calms them.
So yeah, so I was that animal, I guess. Hopefully, that's it.
Well, you mentioned your mom kind of pushed you or kind of encouraged creativity with art. Do you think that's what led to the journey into the world of tattoos and tattooing?
Oh my God, this is so funny because like yes, that's for sure. But it's actually so funny. You're gonna laugh at this. When I started doing tattooing, I start after high school. I wanted to do both music and tattooing.
Okay.
And I remember that the school of tattooing was in the morning and the school for music was in the afternoon, right? And it was like 5 hours each. And at the end, I chose tattooing because I remember that I really loved American music, like international music, UK music, Oasis, Green Day. And I remember I chose tattooing because I didn't really want to do Italian music, just because I felt more connected to the international music.
Yeah.
The fun thing is this, I started my tattooing journey and everything. My mom, she would keep telling me until I became successful with tattooing, she would keep saying, Alessandro, you're wasting your time. I'm like, why? Like, you should have done music. I swear to God. And it's so funny, like some years ago when I started tattooing celebrities, I remember like telling her, I was like, Mom, yeah, wasting my time, right? Yeah. And now I laugh with her because I'm like, what if you were right all along? Like,
Yeah.
what if that music becomes bigger and it's going good, but what if it becomes bigger than tattoos? And then she'd be right. But moms are always right.
They are, they are. But she can be right in both senses. You know, you can have the tattoo success and the music success. Both can work together.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, that's an interesting point actually, because obviously a lot of your songs have kind of found success through your videos of maybe singing them while you're doing tattoos. Do you think kind of social media and TikTok has sort of contributed to your musical journey?
For sure, in a way, it's interesting because like I feel like a lot of people, everything felt really meant to be with this music journey, and it's feeling meant to be, which is like very beautiful, and it's kind of like what Spark is about, right? Like Spark says, like at one point he says, I won't let go like a red thread of fate. Like the theory that the red thread of fate connects two people.
Yeah.
And you need to believe in the fact that if it's meant to be yours, it will be yours eventually. And this to say that my music journey has felt like that. Like, for example, when I chose to do music, I didn't have any followers on TikTok. I remember this, like, it was like 2 summers ago. And I was like, I felt like I arrived to a certain point into tattooing, and I was like, I'm at a peak that there's not too much room to grow. So I was like, maybe I need a new challenge. And I was like, oh, I finally speak perfect English. I mean, perfect, really good English. I understand, I can write better songs in English because I understand better language. I have the international possibilities. I have a visa for the US, so I can work with like artists in the US, and I was like, why not do music now? Finally, I have what I needed when I decided tattooing over music. So I decided to do it, and crazy enough, like 2-3 months after that, my video started blowing up on TikTok. So from zero to like 1 million in like 6 months or something. Like, right after I took the decision, I was actually already writing. So it really felt meant to be. Even to this day, I finally, with Spark, understood how to use social media more for my own songs, because before it was mostly covers. So I figured that covers would give me like followers because people would love to hear the covers, but it ended there. Like, people don't really care about you as an artist if you only do covers. So with Spark, I literally forced myself to be like, I need people to listen to this so that they all fully like it. So I started like posting way more about Spark than I did with the other songs. So that's another reason why like Sparking is going stronger. But it's even because I feel more confident in it because I worked enough on it, and because like when I hear it, like I can hear myself and I'm very critical, and I really like it. And with the other songs, it was like, oh, like I could have done it better. This I could have done better. So, yeah, I think it's
All
been
come together
interesting.
nicely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because you mentioned you love music from the UK and from the US. But as someone in the UK, we love Italy and we love Italian music and the glamour of that. What do you think there's any Italian influence in your creativity, or is that maybe a bit of a myth?
I really like Italian music. I do really love old Italian music though. Like, I don't know if you know, like there's this fantastic singer. She's still alive. She's called Mina.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She's fantastic. Like to me, like that's the best Italian music there is. Massimo Ranieri. He did a fantastic song. Like the video is in black and gray. He was like 18 years old. He's still alive to this day. Doing music it's insane. The quality back then was like just incredible. Right now it's like more trappish, like popish. I feel like there's not really my genre too much in the Italian community right now. So there is some good music, but I don't think it influenced me much. But the old Italian music, I think so. Like it's just so beautiful, so melodic. It's awesome. I think a very good Italian artist that I always liked is Negramaro. I don't know if you ever heard.
No.
They're a really good rock band that I liked. Or Maneskin are really good.
Yeah.
You know Maneskin? Yeah, Maneskin, it's really, really good. I really like them. But I think the old Italian, if you haven't heard about Massimo Ranieri, it's so good. That inspired me a lot. Ah, another one, De André. De
Okay.
André, it's incredible. It's like, it was an insane composer and songwriter. So I think I get inspiration from like old Italian music, which is the best, really.
You mentioned Maneskin there, and obviously they took part in Sanremo. Is that something that, maybe a few years down the line, if the opportunity ever presented itself, would you be interested in that kind of competition style event?
I think so. It would be something interesting to try to do. The only thing that kind of worries me is the fact that I like to write in English. So I'm not sure, like, if I could, or honestly, what I would like to do, maybe one day, is to get one of my songs in English and readapt it in Italian.
Yeah, it'd be
I
interesting.
think, yeah, because like Sanremo, you have to have an Italian song. It's called the Festival of Italian Music, so it needs to be Italian, I think. Unless you're a guest, like for example, Maneskin was like I think Damiano actually. He came to Sanremo the last Sanremo and just played a few songs. So I guess if you grow a lot outside of it, it's yeah, you can do it. I'm very open to it. Yeah, like it. I like it. I like competitions. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's jump on to some quick fire questions because I don't want to take up
let's
too
go.
much of your time. Um,
Of course, no
so
worries.
what or who, I should say, sorry, is your dream collaboration?
I would love, love, love to collaborate with Billie Eilish, actually. I think it would be really amazing to like just meet her and I just love her music. I think she has probably a very, very similar mindset to mine because I heard that she does like a million takes to just get that specific emotion right.
Mhm.
So I think we could get along. I mean, she's a million times better than me. She's a million times more experienced. But I think that would be the dream, honestly, music wise.
Is there a place in Italy or Rome that you would recommend to people, a hidden gem?
Let me think. There is this place that I really love that is do you mean like a restaurant or something like
It could
that?
be a restaurant, it could be somewhere in nature, it could be a
Oh,
bar or
okay,
somewhere.
I have one actually. So, as a place to see, there is this place called Fontana dell'Acqua Paola, which is kind of like Trevi Fountain.
Okay.
It literally is a Trevi Fountain with like bigger pool in front of it and with a and fantastic view on the city, and it's super famous within Italian culture like Roman culture because it's been in a lot of movies and it's in the north area of Rome, but the view are stunning and I feel like there's so much attention to Trevi Fountain, they should be over there as well.
Okay,
So
that's good to know.
yeah, that's cool. You should go, Andrew.
Next time I'm in Rome, I love Rome. It's just my favorite city to visit. It's just yeah, beautiful. The food is amazing, and that takes me on to my next question, which is maybe a stereotype, but pizza or pasta?
Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard. You cannot ask that to an
I
Italian.
know.
It's impossible. It's kind of like asking mom or dad, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's impossible. Like because yeah, it's impossible. I think maybe pass. No, it's too hard, man. I can't. I can't.
Both.
Both. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to like. Yeah, I'm gonna feel guilty about pizza or guilty about pasta, you know? So I can't. It's religion.
Both are very unhealthy, but both are very delicious. So yeah.
Both. If I had to, maybe a tiny bit more for pasta, just because like I feel like it's more you can get in so many different ways. So yeah, maybe that.
Are
Sorry, pizza.
you a morning person or an evening person?
Evening person for sure. Like I write so many of my songs, and I
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Um,
best.
is there a tattoo that you have, or maybe that you've given that feels special or feels lucky?
I have yes, I have a very funny one. It's gonna be probably impossible to show you. I have something on my ankle that
Okay.
is like it's a number one. It's like hashtag one, and
Mhm.
I did it as my first tattoo. I had to do a tattoo on myself while like practicing to feel what I would make other people feel. So I
Mhm.
did this tattoo on myself, and it's like a like number one, kind of like, but with the hashtag symbol.
Yeah.
There wasn't Instagram; it wasn't too famous in Italy at the time, and just to mean like first tattoo.
Mhm.
But there was a little bit of cockiness in it. I was like, I'm gonna be the best, and so I feel like maybe that's gonna like, yeah, that's gonna like, that brings me a little bit of luck, I think.
Yeah,
But
it's a
yeah, people, if I show it, they think I'm cocky, so I tend to not show it. But now you know, so yeah, it's happening.
what is your favorite emoji or most used?
My favorite emoji, I love the smile that is upside down.
Yeah.
It's the best one because like you can literally use it in any situation, and I like to give a little bit of doubt. Do you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
other person, like it's like, is he happy? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
cool. You can use it so much. Yeah.
That's a good one. What would you say that maybe fans don't know about you, or maybe is a little bit of a kind of secret about Alessandro?
What is a secret about me? Something they don't know about me. I mean, definitely they didn't know I had. I think maybe yeah, maybe the fact that I actually had an emo phase, and now I'm curly and everything. But like, I used to have my hair like very like straightened up, and they would go like down to here, like
Oh,
that, you know. And
yeah.
it's so funny. I remember the first time I cut it after years in high school, and I would still move my forehead, thinking I still had hair on the side. Yes, I had it.
The photos will be hidden, I'm sure.
Yes, they're completely hidden. They were on Facebook, but they're like so private, it's impossible to find.
I had to hide all the pre-beard photos because it's not who
Yeah,
I am.
yeah. There's only
Um,
like baby you and like
yeah,
adult
even the
Andrew.
baby had a beard. Yeah.
It's cool, baby.
What word would friends use to describe you?
I think passionate.
Yeah.
I think passionate. Yeah, I try to do everything that I do with passion, you know?
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
And final question: if you weren't singing or creating music, or you weren't tattooing, what would you be doing?
I think I would like to. I love so many things, Andrew. It's crazy. It's like I wish I had like multiple lives so that I could pursue everything. I love design, like interior design,
Yes.
and I love I think I would love acting as well. Maybe of the a third career
Yeah.
in 10 years from now.
And
Yeah, and
all very creative.
yeah, like and it's funny. My grandma used to say, "You should be an actor. You should be an actor. You should be an actor." So watch this. I'm gonna do music. My mom is gonna be right, and then 20 years down the line from music, I'm gonna pull a Jared Leto, and I'm gonna start doing acting, and then my grandma will be right too. So all the moms in the
Yeah.
Capozzi family, they be right.
Well, it'll happen. If they've said it, it will happen.
Yes, exactly. They
Well,
know.
It's been such a pleasure to chat and been really interesting to find out about your story and your love of music and how that's developed. And I'm sure everyone watching will be really interested to find out how it all began and where it's going next. So thank you. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you so much, Andrew, for your time. And yeah, it was a pleasure to talk to you.